Greetings, everybody. My name is Joseph Kableta. I'm a politician, a leader of a party called National Economic Empowerment Dialogue. But I'm coming to you here today as a parent and as somebody concerned about what I know is about to unfold in this country. And that is because I know that in the month of November 2023, going forward, the Minister of Health is planning to unveil a serious malaria vaccine rollout, which is going to be forceful. They are going to go, in order to combat vaccine hesitancy, which is well earned, they are going to go door to door, forcing children to get vaccinated, especially in slums, especially in poor places, especially in villages where people still trust that the government is there thinking about their well-being, and in places like that. And it's going to be a door-to-door campaign, and almost forceful. They enter into your compound, they get all the children who are under 5 and forcefully inoculate them with this very controversial malaria vaccine. Now let me tell you about how controversial this vaccine was. They first started testing it in 2009, and when they tested it in 2009, 2011, they found that actually it prevents, it has 0% protection for malaria. So you give it to somebody and there is no protection whatsoever. They will get malaria in the same way that they would have if they hadn't gotten the vaccine. So they took it back for some kind of modification and so on. Then they brought it back in 2015. And now they rolled it out in 3 countries, Kenya, Ghana, and Malawi. Now in Kenya, it was kind of stopped quickly because Kenya gave an excuse why they don't want it and so on. Ghana, immediately they started rolling it out and they saw how hazardous it was to children. They stopped it and they said that they can only proceed with the vaccination if the people who manufactured the vaccine give them the same immunity against serious disease, against death, and an injury, the same immunity that they would give people, let's say in America. If you are going to pay for all the mistakes and the injuries that come from your vaccine at the same rate that you would pay elsewhere, then we will accept. As soon as they put that condition, they ran away. Nobody wants that because they know how dangerous this vaccine is. Now Malawi was the place where we get a lot of these statistics from. Now, in Malawi, it was found out that 4 doses of the vaccine, because the children are supposed to take 4 doses, one after every month. It was found out that after 4 doses, the children only get a 30% protection from malaria. 30%. In other words, the vaccine efficacy after 4 doses is 30%. And it wanes very fast. After about 6 months, it has waned. 30%. 30%. Now, previously, before the COVID mRNA vaccines were about prevention. If you take let's say a polio vaccine, you don't expect to get polio. But now COVID introduced something new where they can vaccinate you, but you're still just as susceptible as an unvaccinated person to get sick of the sickness against which they vaccinated you, or even worse in the case of COVID. Now this has changed everything. This malaria vaccine is the same technology, mRNA, that was used for COVID. I have to tell you that. Number 1. Number 2, after 4 doses, you can only get, I'm talking about children, your children can only get a 30% protection. Number 3, a top researcher in the University of Southern Denmark called Peter Abies said that even if some children who are vaccinated have a 30% less chance of getting malaria, they have the same chance of dying of malaria. So in that sense, it's almost useless. But that's not all. That same man and another researcher from the University of Southern Denmark, who has 30 years experience in Africa, and he said this is going to be catastrophic. It is going to be a total disaster if this is rolled out, but they are planning to roll it out. And then he said, so I want you to consider this in brief, because there's what they call the risk-benefit analysis. Now I'm going to give you the risk-benefit analysis. The benefit, I've told you, 30% chances of you being protected from malaria in the 6 months after you've taken the vaccine. Now here are the risks. Number 1, it causes a 10-fold increase in meningitis among those children who have been vaccinated. 10-fold increase. Now think about this. They are protecting you from a smaller malaria and giving you a bigger meningitis. 10-fold increase statistically according to people who have been vaccinated. So this is not fake. This is not speculation. This is from statistics of people who have already taken this vaccine, and they are in excess of hundreds of thousands. tenfold increase of meningitis, which is a much worse sickness to deal with than the malaria, which they are supposedly protecting you for. The second one is seizures. Seizures and hallucinations. People take the thing and they start hallucinating. They are seeing things, and some of them go into seizures. These are even stated by the vaccine manufacturer himself. I have the document from him here. It is right here. Okay? Right here. And talking about the risks. And they are amazing that somebody would face all these risks to prevent themselves from malaria, which is curable, which is preventable using mosquito nets and all other things which we've been using before, and which of course is a killer in Uganda, agreed, but this that is coming is going to be a much worse killer. So the risk tenfold increase in meningitis, seizures and hallucination. Cerebral malaria has been one of, even stated here by the manufacturers themselves of these mosquitoes. Cerebral malaria. So imagine you're treating normal malaria, which you are going to give some medicine and the person. Then you go and they tell you go and get a vaccine in quotes, and then you end up with cerebral malaria, which affects the brain of the child and the brain development of the child. Very, very dangerous. And for some reason, girls have been dying at an alarming rate, much faster than boys. These researchers were trying to offer their reasons why. And but I don't want to get into that because it's going to make this video longer than I want it to be. But then here is now the absolute nail in this vaccine. What should be? That those gentlemen, those researchers whom I mentioned before, said that it creates a 24% increase in mortality. 24% increase in mortality among people who have been vaccinated. That means that 1 in every 4 children, about 1 in every 4 children who takes the vaccine is going to die in the not so distant future of taking the vaccine. 1 in 4. Even those who do not die are going to suffer from cerebral malaria, are going to suffer from seizures and hallucinations, and have a tenfold increase of meningitis. How can that even be rolled out? The question is, how do these things pass through the protocols that we suppose we have, and they are rolled out with all these things known? Because the document I'm reading from, by the way, is I got it from somebody in the Ministry of Health. So they know what I'm talking about. They know, but they don't care because they have gotten money from some foreign bodies and some billionaires who believe that the population of the world is too big and needs to be reduced. And of course, they want to start with Africa. You know that. And I have Bill Gates saying that we shall use new vaccines to reduce the population of the world by about 10 to 15%. 15% of the world population is 1 billion people. The population of Africa is about 1.2, 1.3 billion people. So I suppose they have very good plans for you. And I suppose they are very good people, so you trust them with your life, so you're going to go and get the vaccine. Don't be stupid. Protect your children. Protect your children. Now, this is coming for the children. Now, those people, because they have money, they have billions, and they have a club of people who feel that the world is overpopulated, are going to come to you, your wicked people at the ministry, and give them money to go and complete their houses and buy farms and all that, and they will give away poor children. And that's how that's just the way it is. Nobody cares about poor children, of course, except me. Now, the thing is, the officials at Ministry of Health are not going to get vaccinated. Their children are not going to get this malaria shot. Their relatives are not going to get it. None of them is going to get it because they know these things that I'm talking about. What are they going to do? They are going to go to slums. They are going to go to villages. They are going to go to poor people and convince them that this is a government program. It is for your good. And when the poor people start burying, it shall not even make news. Just like I know so many people who have died from, and it did not even make news. So poor people will be buried, and billionaires who think the population of the world is too high will be happy. Yeah, and somebody in Ministry of Health will be completing their arcade or their block of flats. That's how this works. But now, I'm telling you, if you have anybody who is a friend of yours or yourself, and you can listen to me in this language, please go and warn everybody. This is war. You're fighting for the life of your children. Remember, at the very least, 1 in 4 children are going to die. That's in the immediate aftermath. So you're fighting for the life of your children. Make sure that you either, whatever it takes, if you lock them in a compound, lock them, if you take them away, if you transport them to another, whatever you do. Because the Ministry of Health is going to be forceful in its campaign. It's going to want to use force and say this is a government program. You have no option but to accept it. You do not have the right to reject it. So whatever it takes, protect the life of your children. After they have finished giving them the shot and the second and the third and the fourth, they will get lost. Now, if your child dies, you are going to bury your child alone. So, but in order for this not to happen, I ask just two things. Two things I request from you. Number one, protect your children with whatever it takes. If you have to call, 5 years, if you have to call the age of your kindergarten and tell the people of your kindergarten, do not allow anybody to come and vaccinate. Or if you have to take them out of kindergarten, do it. Whatever it takes, just do it. That's the first thing I'm telling you to do. The second one, I'm asking you, requesting you to spread this video to whoever will hear, so that they know what evil is being planned for your children. Now remember, I know on high authority, and I have heard from the mouths of some top billionaires saying that the ideal population of the world is 1 billion. And they have stated clearly that they are going to set out to reduce the population of the world drastically. As far as they are concerned, it's supposed to be 1 billion people. Remember, we are 8 billion people, thereabout. So now that means there is a lot of death that is coming, not just with malaria shot, but with other interventions.